The president of the African Transformation Movement, or ATM, Vuyo Zungula, says he is receiving threats against his life, and those threats, he says, come from some members of the African National Congress. The ANC says if that indeed is the case, then Zungula needs to bring proof. And this, he says, Mr. Zungula, that this is attached to him being vocal about the Phala Phala farm scandal, amongst others. We're now joined by African Transformation Movement spokesperson Zama Ntshona. Thank you very much, sir, for your patience with us. Let's start with the nature of the threats.
Thank you so much. As the African Transformation Movement, we have to say that we are truly disappointed that we have seen such things playing out in the open. This is the second wave, and this time it has come via SMSs. You'll remember that the first one that came back, the first wave that came in 2020, there were a series of calls and SMSs that came through. And this time around, it is in a similar fashion where people, they go as far as saying, you talk too much. And the only thing that President Zungula truly stands for is a government that is ruled with accountability. So this is why, to a certain extent, that when you look at this, there is nothing else that we are speaking about except for speaking against any maladministration and running this country to the ground. And therefore, that would give you an indication and an idea of where these may be coming from.
Okay, so when they say you talk too much, that is in relation to, do they mention the ANC at all?
When they say you talk too much, they do not mention the ANC. They say you talk too much, but you ask yourself, where else is the president speaking, and about what is the president speaking about? The president is speaking about the prioritization of South Africans in all sectors of the economy. The president is speaking about the prioritization of South Africans in the decision-making by the government of the day. The president is critical about the government of the day. The president is critical about an unresponsive government to the needs of society. The president is critical of the Phala Phala story, amongst many. The president is critical of an unwarranted attack on the public protector. These are some of the issues that are being run by that are being championed by the president. But who is at the helm of leadership, and who would be discomforted by such?
So are you laying this squarely at the door of the ANC?
We are not putting this as an absolute statement, but you can't run away from the fact that the majority of our advocacy is on matters of governance, and the people who are making the decision are the ruling party.
And so what options are available to you? Have you since spoken to the police?
Most definitely. We have opened a second case this time around at the Goodwood police station in Cape Town. As the African Transformation Movement, we believe that this must be treated with the seriousness that it deserves. The president cannot be looking over his shoulders anywhere he goes because of such. And this time around, unlike the last time, we expect that the police will do what is needed. The police of this country will investigate accordingly. The police of this country must bring to book all the perpetrators and the culprits that are behind these unwarranted attacks, because only the president is raising some of the pivotal issues for the betterment of society.
And so does this mean that security has been beefed up around Mr. Zungula?
As soon as the president lands from UK, currently I am with the CEO of the ATM and the SG of the ATM. In a word I just had with them right now, the issue of security is a serious issue of consideration right now, especially ahead of the elections. But what we would like to say to anybody who is trying to intimidate the president is that this is not the time to do it, because the African Transformation Movement is not going to stop advocacy because of this. We're not going to stop standing for good governance because of this. We're not going to stop to put a call for the privatization of the people of this country. And where a president is found wanting and is a constitutional delinquent, we are not going to back off. This is a mandate we're given by the voters of this country, and this is exactly what we're going to do. Just that we will intensify.
You mentioned that Mr. Zungula is in the UK, so when did he receive these threats?
President Zungula received these threats on Monday the 10th. On Monday he received the threats before he left, and he opened the case as well. So following much consultation that we're doing internally, it was prudent then that this issue is not left unattended. This issue must be given the full attention that it deserves so that we are able to deal with this issue decisively and with the assistance of the police of this country. We have reported it formally. We do not want to go rogue and do things in a manner that is inconsistent with the very constitution and the rights that we want to protect. This is why we have gone the route of opening a case formally, and we expect that the police of this country will do what needs to be done so that we can bring to book all who are behind this.
What would those things be?
By things?
You say you do not want to do things that go against the very constitution of the country and go rogue. What would those things then be?
It would be like to find private investigators that are not sanctioned, not to use Section 34 of PRECA and go and to a DPCI office or go to an SAPS office like some of the people and some of the leaders do in this country. So for us, it is by the book. It must be done by the book so that we can use what is readily available for the Republic of South Africa in being able to deal with the challenges. We don't kidnap people.
Zama Ntshona speaks for the African Transformation Movement. Thank you very much for your time this afternoon.